Scrapbooking.com magazine presents the following feature article from the August 2010 issue, Penbroidery by Judi Kaufman for Sakura of America. Tied for first place, pens and embroidery. I love them both. For as long as I can remember, if I haven't had a pen in hand, I've had a needle and thread. Several years ago, I began working on ways to recreate the look of embroidery using ink. Penbroidery is the result. The best part of penbroidery is how fast it is. It's also easy to master, portable, and useful for all sorts of projects. Need a quick note card? Penbroider it. Want to decorate a photo mat for a last-minute gift? No problem. Of course, just like masterpiece embroidery projects, you can devote many hours to penbroidery. For example, embellish the pages in an album or an artist's journal with dense and detailed designs. Or switch to pens with wider nibs, increase the size of the penbroidery stitches, and create a wall-size banner. But let's start with the simple stuff. There's plenty of time for further explorations and more stitches once you've joined the fun. If you're already familiar with embroidery, your fingers will hold muscle memory of how the stitches are done with thread. Much of the time, penbroidery duplicates these steps. For example, a lazy-daisy stitch starts with a teardrop shape and finishes with a tiny straight stitch. Chain stitch is done one link at a time, just like with a needle and thread. But when you do a French knot, it isn't necessary to imagine that you're winding thread around the needle. Simply draw a small, fat circle and add a tiny line that is the visual equivalent of the anchor stitch. 2 projects, a card and a photo mat, will get you off to a good start. The photo mat was inspired by a precious childhood memory of mine. When I was 5, my mother made us matching mother-daughter dresses, all the rage back in the 1950s. The skirts had hand-embroidered borders, and there was more embroidery between the buttons. I watched as she stitched. It seemed to take forever and endless skeins of white floss, but I could tell that she enjoyed every minute. That project got me interested in what was to become a lifelong pastime. I begged for and received a sewing box, needles, floss, fabric, and scissors for my birthday the following year, and have been stitching ever since. Unfortunately, I have no photos to chronicle the outfits, only the memories that I've tried to capture in this photo mat. The picture of my mother is from before I was born, but it's always been one of my favorites. To find the Sakura products mentioned in this article and shown in these projects, check with your local scrapbook retailer. Browse our premier retail stores for coupons to a store near you. Thanks for listening. For more creative inspiration, be sure to check out all of the great articles and projects in this month's issue of Scrapbooking.com magazine.